Hey guys, welcome back. Something maybe a little bit different for me this time. I may have mentioned in an earlier video, everyone that collects has their own idea of what they want to do with their books, or how they want their collection to end up, or what they want to do. And when you get up around my age, you're in your 50s and you have grandchildren. You start thinking about that stuff. And I know a lot of guys that are older than me. I mean, they talk about they're never going to get rid of their books. I mean, they're going to take them to the grave, and if that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. With me, the stuff that I got that's worth anything, I'm probably going to have a lot of it slabbed if I can. Maybe drive the value up just a little bit, and sooner or later down the road, I'm going to cash all that in and just put that towards my grandchildren's college fund or a car or whatever they need when they become of age. But anyway, I started thinking, I still want to have some stuff to read. So over the years, I've been, I already have some stuff that I have some of my favorites in reprints. But I've been paying attention to a lot of stuff that I loved even when I was a kid was a reprint, like in the 100-pagers and the Giants and all that. And I just kind of wanted to. I've been gathering some stuff over the years that I want to read, and just classic stories, and mostly from the Golden Age, because as most of you know, I'm a big JSA guy, and all the Golden Age characters, I just love them. So anyway, I've been trying to collect the whole set of the DC Millennium Editions, and I've been trying to get as many of the DC Archive Editions as I can when they become affordable. But anyway, here's a good stack of the Millenniums. The first one is a reprint of Detective 225, as most of you know, is the first appearance of the Martian Manhunter. And a story called If I Were Batman. A reprint of World's Finest 71, which is, I think, the first Superman-Batman team-up, or maybe the issue where they found out each other's secret identities. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure I have this one and the other one in like a 100-page reprint or like a 80-page giant. Of course, you have the classic first appearance of Barry Allen Flash. But nice little package, and I really like the covers on these and the little logo they have. Okay, we have a reprint of Our Army at War number 81, which is the first appearance of Sergeant Rock. And I really like this one. It's a reprint of Police Comics number 1, which introduced Plastic Man, Human Bomb, Phantom Lady, the Mouthpiece, and there were like several other like detective type characters in there. But they're really good stuff, and a lot of the artists like Reed Crandall and all those guys, really some great art for the Golden Age. Okay, reprint of House of Mystery number 1. For some reason, they put Vertigo down on the bottom. So I thought that was pretty cool. Reprint of Mad number 1. Enough said about that. Everybody knows how great Mad is. Okay, first issue of Young Romance. Simon and Kirby. And as the little blurb on here says, they pretty much invented romance comics. I mean, they just pretty much came up with that genre on their own. I think Alan from After Comics just did a great video recently on the romance comics. Great stuff. Pretty sure I already have a copy of this, but some of these are in a lot, and I got them pretty cheap, so why not? First appearance of the Justice League from Brave and Bold 28. Okay, Sensation Comics number 1 reprint, Wonder Woman. Reprint of All-Star Comics number 8, which is actually the first appearance of Wonder Woman. I think some people still kind of get them confused, thinking Sensation 1 is the first appearance or origin or whatever. It's actually in the All-Star 8. So that's like a double dose for me. I love All-Star Comics, love the Justice Society. So nice little package. And a reprint of All-Star Comics number 3, which I already have a couple copies of the Treasury, where they reprinted this issue. But this is a nice little package. Okay, on to the archive editions. Most of these I found really good deals. Most of them were like less than half cover for these, and I think originally these were like $50 a piece. And most of these are still in shrink wrap. And just so you know, they will be taken out of the shrink wrap and read. Okay. First one we have Shazam Archives Volume 4. A lot of stuff from Whiz Comics, Captain Marvel Adventures, Master Comics. Great little package there. And on the back it kind of shows the covers of where some of the originals came from. Golden Age Green Lantern Archives Volume 2. I think there were only 2 volumes in this set. Some classic stuff from All American Comics and Green Lantern. Golden Age Hawkman Archives Volume 1. I'm pretty sure that's probably a Joe Kubert illustration on the front, if I'm not mistaken. And this is taken from selected stories in Flash Comics. Speaking of which, probably after Commandy, the Golden Age Flash is probably my all-time favorite comic character. I just love just love everything about it. Just love everything about that concept. Volume 2, and this was reprinted from Flash Comics and All Flash Quarterly. Just wonderful stories. Get down to the highlight for me, which these are all highlights, but I think I've got probably the 2 that I needed to complete my All-Star Comics archives run. There were 11 volumes and a 0 volume, I think. And I think I had the last 2 coming in the mail. Here's Volume 4. And this reprints some great stories. Okay, Volume 7. I think I've already been reading through that, and there's no shrink wrap there. Like I said, these will be read. And this is taken from All-Star Comics 29 through 33. And this one from, I guess it's, not sure what the number is on that one. Anyway, that's one of my all-time favorite stories with Solomon Grundy. I think I've got it in a reprint in Super Team Family number 4 too. But just great stuff. Okay, here's the last volume of that, Volume 11. And that reprints 50 through 57. So this one is actually a little bit thicker than the other ones. There's 4 of the issues it reprints. Because it's a fair bet that I'm not going to own a whole lot of the originals. And to my knowledge, I don't think all of the All-Star stories have been reprinted anywhere else in entirety other than in these archives. I mean, there's been scattered stories, probably in the Justice League 100-pagers and other books. But, I just kind of wanted to have a complete set of those original All-Star comic stories and just read them from beginning to end. Here's a great little cover on this one. Archives number 9. With some of the covers that those originally came from 39 through 43. Number 8 with a great cover. I think it's the first time and only time that the Golden Age Superman and Batman were ever in a story. That's from Volume 8. Beautiful cover there. And some great stories. I think probably 2 or 3 of these I have reprinted in some old Justice League 100-pagers. This is from 34 to 38. I think this story was probably from All-Star 37. Okay, and these last 3, shout out to my buddy Steve, Charlton 66. I know he's a big, like myself, a big Seven Soldiers of Victory fan. And there were 3 volumes of this, and I was lucky enough to get all 3 of them for a really, really good price. And this reprints a lot of the classic stuff from leading comics. So you have volume number 1, the 7 Soldiers. Actually, with the Crimson Avengers partner wing, there were 8, but they still called them the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Okay, volume 2, with more reprints from leading comics, 5 through 8. And the last one I have here is volume 3, reprinted from leading comics 9 through 14. Really nice packages, and I'm like I said, and especially with the 7 Soldiers of Victory, I don't think very many of their stories are reprinted at all. I could be mistaken about that, but this is a chance to kind of go through and finally read all those adventures, especially with the JSA and again with the SSV. So really happy to have these, and like I say, I think I have the last couple I need for the All-Star series in the mail. I think there's a couple rarities. There's actually one called Golden Age Rarities, and another one called JSA All-Stars in All-Star Comics, which kind of shows some, I guess maybe some solo adventures of like some offbeat members, I guess like Mr. Terrific and Ma Hunkle, the Red Tornado, and stuff like that. But I'm sure I'll be showing those in a video pretty soon. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I say, this is if you're a Golden Age fan and fan of Golden Age DC stuff, this is a wonderful way to collect them without having to pay a big price for the originals, which I would love to have several of the originals, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. I might get a few here and there, but I just really want to read this stuff. And anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed showing them. And I will be back soon with another video. Onward and upward.